anything that came out of his mouth, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
When rappers hate you, but you're low-key just a DJ. Yeah, I'm talking about DJ Vlad. This guy is out here acting like he's the king of hip-hop journalism, right? But what's he really doing? Stirring up mess and getting hated on by the very rappers he claims to support. It's like the dude thinks he's some kind of cultural expert just because he can ask the most uncomfortable questions. But let's be real, he's not a journalist. He's a professional drama stirrer. The man doesn't even know what it means to stay in his lane. And it's honestly hilarious to watch him get roasted by people who should have his back. Before we dive into the drama, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next. First off, take Tony Yayo and 50 Cent for example. Yayo's been out here spilling the tea on why 50 won't even look at DJ Vlad.
50 hates me, but you do interviews with me.
Yes, 50 hates you. Banks hate you too.
You know what's hilarious? 50 has been avoiding Vlad since 2014. And why? Because Vlad's not even about promoting anyone's career. Nope, it's asking questions that don't just make you uncomfortable, they make you squirm. DJ Vlad is like an interrogation specialist, always trying to drag out the juiciest dirt, even if it means crossing lines. You'd think 50 would want that kind of attention.
He talked about the 50 Cent shooting, and he said, and they said they solved this actually. He said that the shooters that were there.
Why are we talking about that? Come on.
But no, he's smart enough to see through it. Vlad doesn't care about the culture, he cares about views. And for 50, that's just not the vibe. He's been avoiding Vlad like the plague, and honestly, good for him. It's a miracle he didn't kick Vlad off the set himself. Then there's Lil Durk, and this one is wild. Durk is currently facing life in prison for a federal murder for hire case involving his rap collective, OTF, Only the Family.
I said, I know you're a rich ass nigga, but if you need anything, you know I got you.
The FBI alleges that after King Von's death in 2020, Durk ordered a bounty on Quando Rondo for revenge. Prosecutors claim that in 2022, OTF members flew to Los Angeles with firearms and ski masks, following Quando's car for hours before mistakenly killing his cousin, Lil Pop, at a gas station.
It may have been a member of his entourage, we don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was...
If that's not enough, the feds are using everything against Durk, from text messages to his rap lyrics, where he allegedly brags about getting revenge. To make matters worse, the FBI caught Durk trying to flee the country, with tickets booked to Switzerland, Dubai, and Italy.
The Lil Durk arrest has more interesting details. Durk booked 3 international flights in an alleged attempt to flee the country after his boys were arrested earlier in the day.
He never made it onto the plane though, and now he's stuck facing charges that could lead to life in prison or the death penalty. And Vlad, this guy called Durk stupid.
He called the rapper stupid for going about the alleged hit in such an easily traceable manner.
But let's be real, Vlad's whole setup is the problem. Vlad's interviews are infamous for prying into sensitive legal matters, and with the case this big, who can blame Durk for staying quiet? Vlad's platform thrives on these moments, turning serious issues into clickbait chaos. Funny enough, Quando Rondo's name comes up here too. After King Von's death, Quando became a target for OTF. But Vlad doesn't just interview people like Quando, he milks the drama surrounding them. Vlad might not be directly involved, but his platform amplifies every beef, turning private conflicts into public disasters. And here's the thing, it's not just 50 Cent and Durk who know what's up. A bunch of other rappers are steering clear of Vlad like he's got some kind of social disease. They're not avoiding him because they're too good for him. They're avoiding him because they're not dumb. Vlad has a reputation for working with the cops. And no, that's not me making it up. That's how a lot of these artists see it. Imagine you spent your whole career staying out of trouble, only for someone with a camera to push you into a corner, trying to get you to talk about crimes you're still dealing with. You think Meek Mill or T.I. want that on their conscience? Hell no.
Nigga ain't got in the rafe. That was a part of the journey. Every battle, every cipher.
They're not here for Vlad's nonsense. The thing is, while these rappers are out here trying to protect themselves, Vlad's out here acting like he's doing the world a favor. He's out here calling out artists, asking for all kinds of personal stuff. And for what? So he can profit off it? Of course. He's a culture vulture through and through. Rappers see it, and they're calling him out for it. YG made that crystal clear when he called Vlad exactly what he is, a culture vulture.
So he like, I'm trying to go hit some shit. So I'm like, all right, come pick me up, and then we finna go hit some shit.
Vlad's whole empire is built on exploiting the struggles and mistakes of the very people who built hip-hop into what it is today. And somehow, he has the nerve to act surprised when these rappers want nothing to do with him. But despite all this hate, Vlad's platform is still booming. Over 3 billion views on VladTV. That's right, the guy who everyone loves to hate is still cashing in on the chaos. So what does that say? It says that while the artist may be smart enough to distance themselves from Vlad, he's still got the audience hooked. That's the sad part. Rappers refusing to sit down with DJ Vlad? It's happening. And trust me, it's not just a coincidence. You've got Meek Mill and T.I. And let's be clear, it's not because they think they're too good for him. They're avoiding Vlad for one simple, glaring reason. They don't want to end up behind bars. Let's start with Meek Mill, a guy who's got a decade-long history of legal troubles.
I'm very thankful from the bottom of my heart, everybody that ever mentioned my name or said free Meek.
Meek Mill addressing the crowd outside the courthouse after the rapper learned that his 12-year legal battle was over.
Now, what does Vlad do? He digs into that past like a bloodhound. If you don't see the problem with that, you're either a fool or living under a rock. The guy's been on probation for 10 years. 10 years. And Vlad's over here asking him to relive those issues on camera. Why? Because it makes for good TV, right? Wrong. It makes for a nightmare. Vlad's interview style isn't about getting real insight. It's about getting a reaction. And Meek knows that all too well. His past interviews with Vlad were tense as hell. Meek's already been dragged through the system enough. He doesn't need Vlad playing lawyer, trying to get him to snitch on himself for the sake of views. Vlad's questions feel more like a trap than an interview, and Meek Mill isn't about to walk into that. And let's not forget Nori from Drink Champs. Nori's been vocal about his thoughts on Vlad, calling him out for exploiting artists rather than genuinely supporting the culture.
VladTV, I feel like he disrespected hip-hop. I feel like he disrespected Louis Farrakhan. I feel like he didn't say sorry.
During one episode, Nori made it clear that he doesn't trust Vlad's intentions, and honestly, he's got a point. Nori highlighted how Vlad's interviews often cross the line, prying into sensitive topics and causing unnecessary problems for the artists involved. Nori's take? Vlad's doing more harm than good for the hip-hop community. Let's talk about Lil Baby. When he sat down with Vlad, things didn't end well. Baby's whole vibe was, I'm not about to share my life story for your clicks.
Racist thing? Was it like whites and blacks kind of clicked up in there?
How you know that?
And then there's Casanova, who's currently locked up. And guess what? Vlad's interviews played a part in it. Reports surfaced that details from Casanova's VladTV interviews were cited in his legal case, fueling claims that Vlad's questions aren't just invasive, they're outright dangerous.
How many people did you cut in prison?
3 to 4. 3 to 4.
Fans and critics alike have called out Vlad for exploiting Casanova's openness during their interviews. It's one thing to ask questions, but when your platform ends up being ammunition in court, it's no wonder rappers are steering clear. Casanova's case has become a prime example of why Vlad is viewed as a liability, not an ally. Take Quando Rondo, for example. He sat down with Vlad, and not long after, his home was raided.
Video, the WJCL 22 News gathered at the scene of a raid of a home in Savannah.
People call Vlad's interviews a self-snitching trap, where rappers unknowingly spill details that land them in trouble. Vlad might act innocent, but his platform has become a magnet for legal disasters. Now, let's talk about Vlad's biggest crime, using the pain and trauma of rappers to fuel his views. This man is profiting off the struggles of others, acting like he's some kind of journalistic hero while cashing in on the drama. YG nailed it back in 2019 when he called Vlad a culture vulture on Instagram Live. Vlad's entire empire thrives on exploiting the pain, struggles, and mistakes of rappers. He profits off their vulnerability while contributing absolutely nothing to the culture itself. YG wasn't just speaking for himself, he was representing how so many artists feel about Vlad's tactics. Vlad doesn't elevate hip-hop, he exploits it for clicks, and the backlash proves that rappers are done playing this game. And you know what? YG was right. Vlad doesn't care about the culture. He's not here to elevate hip-hop, he's here to exploit it. His entire career is built on the backs of people's pain, and he doesn't give a damn about the impact. He just wants those clicks. YG saw through the BS, and he wasn't about to let Vlad feed off of his struggles. Let's not pretend Vlad isn't successful though. His platform, VladTV, has racked up over 3 billion views. That's right, 3 billion. Even with all the hate and backlash from the hip-hop community, Vlad's still pulling in millions of views. You can't deny the numbers, but he's not pulling in views because he's a genius interviewer. Nah, he's pulling in views because he knows exactly how to provoke people and stir up controversy. And guess what? In the world of hip-hop, controversy sells. But here's the real issue. Vlad's reputation precedes him. The reason rappers are avoiding him? They know it's not worth the risk. Vlad's like the one friend who always asks the most uncomfortable questions, and when you give him an answer, he twists it into something way bigger than it needs to be. He's not here for understanding or appreciation for the culture. He's here to create a spectacle. And the more explosive, the better. Rappers are just smart enough to stay away from that train wreck. So yeah, Vlad's got a massive platform, But let's not forget why so many rappers are staying far, far away from him. His interview style isn't just invasive, it's dangerous. It's not about the questions, it's about how he twists every answer into something that can send you straight to court. In a world where every word can be used against you, not every rapper is willing to risk that for a few extra clicks.